running his Rate My Rip live, and
Gotcha.
I forgot to put the event together last night so everybody could see that it was coming. So Rate My Rip live, and
gotcha. Now he's looping back on himself. I was gonna sell him funny.
Hey, Prototype. Yeah, I turned it off. I always forget to pop into the damn chat window and turn it off.
There we go. Yeah, I'm about to do the same thing. So, except for my computer by default, the sound's off. So, all right, cool.
What's going on, Ryan?
Gentlefolk. And when I say that, I mean not gentlefolk. Let's see here. Who all we got on? I see Ryan. And cool.
All right. If you're hopping in here and you approve of the live stream, give it a thumbs down. Remember to sub us if you're not subbed. Ring the bell so you get notifications when we go live, and
very
enjoy the content, right? Oh, yeah, there's Chuck. So for all you guys who come here just to look at the hairy guy, Chuck will either be on very late or not at all, depending on how his drive goes. So it looks like Joe and I are holding things down tonight.
Well, until she wakes up, and then all games are off.
Yeah.
I'm not up for a wrestling match. Wrestling. Double A, what's up?
Oh, God. Yeah, well, I did acquire his dildo over Noobapalooza.
And yes, you did. What's up, Vampire?
Hey, what's on, Vampire? All right. So, tell you what, let's start talking about Noobapalooza last week. I know you guys really haven't seen any content because, frankly, we were so busy, I didn't have a chance. None of us really had a chance to put any together. I know that Chris put out one short flight video, and I think Chuck might have put out a short flight video, but they were just kind of quick and dirty jobs. But we finally got to meet Ryan last week. We went over to Upper Cove, Maryland, and picked him up for the day and took him into Baltimore with us. We got to meet Vampire for a couple days of flying. We met Botgrinder and Cricket. Now, we didn't meet any of Botgrinder's crew because they didn't come out that day. And to their defense, you know, we were out there in the middle of the week, and they had regular work and all that normal stuff. But apparently Cricket's crew doesn't work, or they work at night, or they're on welfare. I don't know. So they were able to come out and have a great time with us, which was awesome.
Now, I think all of them, well, at least a couple of them, I don't know what they do, to be honest with you, because they were, 3 of them were able to meet up with us at least. So I was kind of envious, really, because, you know, we had to take off work, and they're like, yeah, no, let's go fly. I'm like, how do I get that gig?
Yeah, for lack of a better way of putting it, Willie P. FPV was out. He's White Willie. And then Black Willie was out there. And then there was 1 or 2 other guys also who showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Vampire, it did rain, but it didn't rain very long when we were in Baltimore. In Philly.
Yeah, that was funny, though. It was like the second Chuck crashed just turned into that gazebo top. All of a sudden, it was just like, yeah, fuck it, I'm going to rain on you. It's like, oh, that's just mean.
Chuck, in flying around, so in this place Botgrinder took us, there was a couple pavilions with tin roofs. And we could see the weather kind of not being totally sure whether it wanted to rain or whether it was going to hold off. And so you guys are going to see Chuck is an absolute terror. I mean, I know you guys get that idea if you watch his flight videos anyway. But to see it in person, I could not ride along with him more than 1 or 2 flights without taking a break because my anxiety went through the roof. Anyway, just as it's getting about to pour, we hear from all the way across the park, zzz, bong. And apparently he left a quad-shaped dent in the roof of this pavilion.
Oh.
And then it rained its ass off for like 10 or 15 minutes.
It was gold, man. I mean, it hit so hard that it was just like, did that just we're like, oh, he's picking up parts for sure. And then they're walking around looking. Apparently, they were looking for his GoPro.
Yeah,
that was it. But quite little like it was funny because Botgrinder was like, damn it, man, why are you marking up all my spots? Because he literally left an X mark on that metal roof. I was just like, wow, and it didn't break. Hey,
yeah.
Was that the one that caught on fire later? Actually, because that already brought it up.
I think it was.
That may have been the beginning of the end for it.
Yeah, that was Chuck's favorite quad, not his beater. Well, it's, how do I put this? Because I don't know about you, but my favorite quad is also the one that gets the most use and abuse.
Yeah, that's usually how it works.
Yeah. Oh, God, we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff, Ryan. We are going to recap everything for everybody today. And we're going to try to do it slowly, so maybe if Chuck becomes available, like you said, let's not.
Let's not.
But maybe if Chuck becomes available, he can join in some of the conversation with us. But
yeah.
So you guys, I just finished the video about a half hour before the live stream started. The first video, what I'm calling the pregame. The first official day of Noobapalooza was last Sunday. But last Saturday, as Chuck got into town and everybody's, had some time that opened up, like Joe was supposed to be working at the bike store, and at one point his wife told him go out and play with the boys, and everybody just kind of ended up filtering together. And so we have some footage from that day. Now it's light footage. It's like we kind of start the week light when we know there's going to be a week of activities. That way we don't blow our load all at once, before it even starts. So I just got that video put together, and I've got some flight clips from Chuck and some from, some from Chris. And it's just the whole focus of all the videos that are going to come out about Noobapalooza is the group activities, because that really is what drives us, is just being together. These guys will watch me, and I'll talk about when I go out, how I can burn through, 8, 9, 10 packs in an hour. I get around these guys, and it might take me 3 hours to burn 4 packs because I'm busy flapping my jaws, Hey, what's going on, Wheats?
Okay, note to self, don't watch flight footage while on the thing because it starts screaming motor noise.
Yeah, I was wondering what the hell that was. So we got together, we did some flying. That video will be out, if not late tonight, tomorrow. So I have to get it wait for it to compile, and then I'll upload it, and then you guys will get all your notifications, and we'll spam the hell out of Facebook and Reddit. So what I'm going to do is put together, rather than one giant video that nobody wants to watch because it's entirely too long, I'm going to get everything down to one video per day. So we'll have 4 to 5 days worth of videos coming out. I'm going to try to keep them under 5 minutes. Really, I'm aiming for 3-ish. So should get the point across. And then I'm going to get a little artsy-fartsy with one of them and really have some fun. And it's going to be a conglomerate of a mashup across the entire week.
So I'd actually like to give a shout out. I know I'm skipping way to late in the week, but I'd like to give a shout out to DV Crash and the phenomenal barbecue that we got at his shack on Saturday. Oh my God, I still have leftovers of it, even though Brandy's probably gonna hate me for saying that. But dude, that freaking phenomenal as always.
Yeah, that brisket was legit. Now, admittedly, I didn't try anything else. You guys know I had birthday festivities to attend to that day, so I ended up eating during all that. But I had one strip of that brisket, and I always pick the ends because I love the burnt stuff. And it was absolutely to die for. And
John was, DV Crash was also like, oh, that's not my best work, and I have had some of his that was better. He said he dropped originally the one that he was going to give us, or half of it, by accident, and so, but still, it was phenomenal. Chuck had the meat sweats and went from like, yeah, let's fly to, I'm gonna sleep right here. So
he was even bitching about that night. Not the meat sweats.
Yep.
Man, I can't believe we didn't do any flying today.
But yeah, so if you get a chance and you're in near Salisbury, Ocean City area, if you come out here to go do that, definitely go out to Whaleyville if you're out there on a Saturday to go get some brisket for sure, because it's awesome.
Where is it?
We'll give you the address.
A stand or a cart?
Yeah, it's actually at the at Cosa Ventosa Winery. He's open on Saturdays, like 10 to 4. And oh yeah, dude, the sausages were on point. Chuck says also, yeah, they were awesome. But yeah, I swear to God, he was like double fisting him. He was like he's the one to push down the other. It was like, dude, slow down. Wonder why he went into immediate food coma. But oh, sorry, he says noon to 4. So yeah, but if you're out here Whaleyville area, hit us up. We'll most definitely give you the location. So.
It's not worth much, but Joe, I'll get that specific vineyard's name. I've already forgot the name from you later, and I'll add a pin or a link and the address in the description of this video. So
gotcha. Yeah, DV Crash is on right now, so either that or I'll get it from him and I'll forward it to you. So we'll definitely get a tag out and stuff out like that for DV Crash. It's called No Barbecue. It's legit. So. I just want to get that out there early in case I forgot, because you know, shiny penny.
And MD, if you're paying attention, I am sending you a link in your email right now. I sent you one earlier, but I guess you weren't paying attention.
There's Chris.
All right, and there's Crystal. Guys, Crystal hang with us. Oh my God.
He's bullshitted out from a week of it.
I know. Crystal hung with us quite a bit last week, and she spent a lot of time taking a lot of pictures, and she's got some really good ones. I look forward to whatever she puts out too.
I don't know. I saw a lot of white flesh in the last photos I saw. What Chuck's giving me shit because he's wondering how long it's going to take Joe to just say his name right. Well, yes, Drive Crash. I always say DV Crash. Get over it. He hasn't given me permission to say his real name, so I keep stumbling over not calling him by his real name. So,
MD, I sent another invite to you. We'll see how many times this takes. He's gonna pull a Chuck and make me send it 8 times.
Why not 9 times?
Yeah, it's happened before. And I think really what's given me a problem, Chris, is that you guys know I use my work laptop because I don't like carrying 2 laptops, but work has now locked everything down and I can't get to Facebook anymore.
So Big Louie from the East, that's what he wants me to call him now. I can barely say Drive Crash. You want me to call it Big Louie? Okay, whatever. Yeah, thanks Plummet for the $5. That'll go towards the next giveaway. So yeah, poor. Oh, by the way, when Chris gets on here, I'm gonna give him shit about the hot potato drone. That was some bullshit.
The hot potato drone.
You were in the other room when Crystal was doing her news on Drone Network. Yeah, he hot potatoed a drone to me. So what we're gonna get, I'm gonna wait for him to get on here and start giving him shit.
Nice.
That's the first time I've ever had that happen.
I'll try it this way. Sorry, guys. We'll get back to the conversation here in just a second. Reminder that tonight's going to be a thumbs down night. So if you love the stream and like what we're doing, give it a thumbs down. Share the hate. Let it flow through you because it gives you focus.
Share the rage.
Yeah, we did that too last week. Chris went live on Friday, and we all sat in Chris's office / room / quad wall, whatever you want to call it, and completely wrecked his live stream.
And also fucked with all his shit. So he's probably going to be for weeks going, where the hell did this go? Because I was just randomly moving stuff just to see what would happen.
Bro, I was fingering shit left and right.
Oh, yeah, I know, right?
And you can see the anxiety. He's like, get off my stuff.
Exactly, right?
Hey, what's going on, Dan? It was nice meeting you. We got to meet Dan early on.
Oh, yeah.
Dan came for the pregame the day before Noobapalooza. And then the first day, Fly by Quad, MultiGP chapter in Denton, Maryland, put on a fun fly for us. And Dan came out to that. We all ran around the track a little bit and did a lot of not running around the track and just flying blind. And it's kind of what we do.
Smacking into stuff. Yeah, fun stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. That night, I already had to go home and fix stuff from just running into things.
Yeah, then Chuck was trying to use me as his printer boy. He's like, here, make this. So I'm up all night designing shit instead of fixing my drones.
I'll tell you, Dan is a typical kind of the first time you meet somebody and you're not used to flying with other people kind of pilot. Very self-conscious, worried about his own abilities compared to everyone else's. Dan, I hope if you took nothing else away from hanging with us, it's that your skill level doesn't matter.
Nope.
And, bro, you were flying just fine. Oh, broke a session on Saturday. That sucks.
Oh.
Well, I don't know if you have you probably don't, a Best Buy warranty for that GoPro. Because I refuse to move away from the sessions, I have a GoPro's warranty that they offer. It's a little bit more expensive than the Best Buy, but still worth it for me because the durability is just way higher on the sessions.
Blizzard, what was Canadian, eh? I'm assuming that's Canadian.
It is.
What's that like?
$1.99 American.
I thought those were like Canadian pesos. That's what Tank told me, that they're Canadian pesos.
That's funny.
But thank you very much for the 420. I don't know if you're making a reference to marijuana or that's just how it works out. I don't know.
I don't know if you guys saw, but the last giveaway we did 2 weeks ago, we gave away a custom Hot Dog FPV goggle strap. So Frank the Tank won that, and we've already designed his strap and sent it off to Hot Dog. It'll get printed and stitched and put together and mailed out to him. If he hasn't received it yet, he will soon.
It should be a cheeseburger. Yeah, okay.
Good deal, Vampire. Yeah, I saw Bardwell. Man, I'm talking real good today. I saw Bardwell's review on the box too, and for most people, it looks like it's going to be the money, and it's at a great price point.
I wonder if they're dimensionally the same to fit your existing mounts.
No, it's too big for a session mount. You're going to have to remake mounts
Gotcha.
that fit it. Yeah.
Oh, it's been shipped, Chuck said.
Yep, I see that.
Very cool.
So, yeah, I've got a good list of names running. Let's go ahead and review that just so everybody's aware. Love My Drones, Tacklebox FPV, The Tank, Plummet, Mike Chin, Kush, Wheats, Twisty Goat, and Blizzard are all in for the giveaways. We may or may not do one tonight just because, like I said, some of us are kind of in limbo. Chris, I sent you a link through the YouTube Messenger. I'm not sure how else to send you things if you're not receiving them because I've emailed it. I've sent it in YouTube Messenger. I can't send it in Facebook Messenger just because, again, I'm running this from my computer and I can't get it all the way around. So,
Josh, send it. Can you send it off your phone onto Messenger?
I'm trying.
Okay, gotcha. Otherwise, send it to me. I can see if I can forward it to him. Anyway.
Yeah, right?
No. Oh, it's gone. There was a thought in there, and it just kind of went.
Here, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Joe.
Right.
Sorry, guys. Give us 1 second here. I'm going to copy the invitation link,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put it in the chat of the live stream window that we're using.
Correct.
And maybe you can send that to him in Messenger. This has become a complete debacle.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, just, again, I need to just break down and get a personal computer. It's what it amounts to.
Let's see here. Yeah, I got it.
All right, good deal. All right. So, where was I going with this? Oh, it's been 2 months since we had a challenge, and I really enjoyed the challenges, the few challenges we did. And now that the weather's warm, I want to warn you guys that are here that the next challenge is incoming this weekend. It is going to be the Lawnmower Challenge. You're going to need a clear set of props. So if you don't have them, you're going to have to acquire clear props. It's the only way to qualify. And what we're going to do, you're going to have to set up a camera and show me your brand new props that don't have any grass stains on them. And then you're going to have 30 seconds to fly as low as you can for that entire 30 seconds. And then show me how green those clear props are. And we're going to take those pictures and put them up for voting. And I think this time what we're going to do is try to appoint like a random panel. So I'm going to invite different people who are active in the FPVnoobtube Facebook group to be honorary judges. And then whoever they vote as being, having the greenest props is going to win. I'll put up a demonstration video when I make the announcement official and put it out there with the rules. But you guys get ready for it.
Well, the funny one was we were when we were out at Chris's flying kept taking those slow passes on the field. You actually watched he'd go flying into it. And you'd see as the grass is mowing over. It was just like, okay, that shit's funny right there.
Yeah, I used to love doing that when I was really getting used to flying low and fast. And then I got to where I was even doing it over the road, but I would start out with 5-inch props and I would just fly and those props would just sit on the blacktop and it would just run up and down the street. And when I landed, they were like 3-inch props.
I'll mow an acre in 30 seconds. Blizzard.
I know, I saw
that. Yeah, me. Well, after seeing what happens this week when we were at Chris's, I give you 30 yards at most. Chris, it just goes.
I'll tell you, in that field, I was. It was actually causing me to pitch a few times. Almost lost it running real low through there. But I was watching the top spit out over the camera.
Yeah, it was. And well, from the third person, you sit there watching, and it's just like doink, 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 like literally like. Every horror movie you see where somebody's running through the thing and the grass is like popping off like that. That's exactly what was going through. It was pretty awesome.
MD, I think Joe sent you a link in Messenger. If you can get in, go for it. If not, I guess we'll hold it down without you and we'll have to figure this out.
I'm doing it right now. I'm bouncing around here.
Yeah, I got you.
Yep. Let's see here. Who is he again? Oh yeah, Chris. Who are you? Wait, no.
Right.
Where'd he go? I seriously am like, I've been working on my computer so much today. I spent like Monday. It was a Tuesday. I got to work and I literally spent like an hour going, oh yeah, what's my password? Actually, the funny part is my password expired at work on Saturday. So I got to work and they're like, we need you to do this. I'm like, I'd love to, but I can't get in. I'm like, oh, it's so rough. Let's see here. Where are you, Chris?
Christopher Justice.
Yep. There he is. Paste. Try that. All right. But you know what? I'm finding it quite annoying that the YouTube channel is kicking me out like repeatedly.
Interesting.
Like I pause the video and it just takes me right out of the channel because usually I don't have to, I don't need to watch it. I'm in it. But usually I just pause the video, but apparently if I leave the video paused, it's just kicking me the hell out.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, guys, I felt like we should at least break down. We did this once before, but we didn't have a whole lot of activity and it ended up dying. But we've gone ahead and created a Discord server for the FPVnoobtube. So I forgot to put a link in the description of the video, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw the link into chat right now. And if you guys want, feel free to join up. We're going to get it posted to Facebook and everything as well, and we'll just see if it becomes more of a nuisance or becomes one more unused thing, but it's not going to hurt. Doesn't cost anything.
Oh, stop it. Fucking YouTube. Thank God Pornhub doesn't do that. Otherwise, I'd be really in a rage.
Man, there's one thing that's been on my mind nonstop, dude, and that's the BFQ. I wish we had more time and more space to devote to that little project.
Hold on. I'm going to continue upon. I'm going to go grab it, actually, because it's down there. So for those that didn't see it, they can actually ask questions and see stuff.
Yep. So for you guys that may have missed it, head on over to the FPVnoobtube YouTube channel, and you're going to see a reference to the WTF class drone. Joe Ford put together a drone that spans 8 foot from motor to motor diagonally. This thing runs huge motors. It has 30-inch props. When it takes off, it whistles and hums in the weirdest way. It is awesome. Now, the first flights were a little bit janky. And when I say flights, they were more like hover tests, right? Because he didn't have a lot of time to really test this thing prior. So he verified that it would hover and that it did fly, but it had a lot of like oscillations and it was really, really janky in the air. So we spent a little time tuning it and we got it locked in, what I think is pretty well, because his flight controller has black box. And so now I'm really looking forward to like going to the college down across from where you work, Joe, or where you live, and just going in that backfield by the swine butcher or whatever the hell that is there, because it's just wide open and just seeing how well it flies.
Oh yeah. What's up, Chris? Welcome.
Messenger.
Man.
All right.
Glad to have you here.
Whatever you sent, it kept sending a YouTube friend request. It was like, I don't understand that.
I sent a YouTube friend request because YouTube has a messenger in it now, but you can only send messages to friends.
Okay.
So then I sent you a message to the YouTube messenger, but Facebook's fucking me up.
Gotcha.
Hey, Hot Dog, thanks for getting that strap out, bud. I know that you've been busy with a lot of things, and it's work. It's not like we need to thank you for it, but we're anxious for Frank to get that strap and get it on something and start doing FPV ground stuff.
You're lucky I'm wearing pants. Blizzard.
Yeah. Well, you guys will be excited to know that we did get a shirtless picture of all of us.
It's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the funny part is I grabbed the BFQ and started walking upstairs, and Laura goes, "You are not flying that in the house." Either she knows me or she's really kind of concerned that it could happen.
You have done a lot of hover tests in the house.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, first videos that Josh ever saw of mine is me flying through the kitchen of my house. He's going, seriously, dude, you're flying your 5-inch through the house. I'm like, why not? Doesn't everybody do that?
Right?
Man.
I fly 5-inch in the house all the time. It's fun.
Okay, wait, I gotta give Chris some shit. Dude, what was with a hot potato fucking controller?
Wait till I do that in the field and we switch quads.
No.
And we got to switch goggles, transmitter, and quad.
So during Crystal's feed, or during the drone network feed, Crystal's doing the news, and I'm sitting behind Crystal, just kind of being an asshole. And Chris walks in and goes, "Hot potato!" As this drone comes flying into the room, it literally throws the remote at me. So it lands in my lap upside down. So first of all, I've never flown one of the micros or minis. And next thing you know, there's a remote in my lap that's upside down, and I'm trying to fly this thing in reverse. Not that the drone's in reverse, but the controller's upside down. You want to fuck with somebody's head real quick? There's the way to do it, because
all you needed was the cheater. You needed the camera on each end.
right.
Yeah, it's coming.
Do it.
Yeah.
I wonder how much that's going to mess you up because your controls will run in reverse.
No, you actually go in, and when you flip the switch, it flips everything.
Yep.
Yeah, I did see that. Come to think of it.
And if you're smooth with the transition, you would never know they're using it. If they do say for Cricket instance, Cricket can fly backwards really well. But
yeah.
Cricket, the way he's got that juicy stick, you'd never be able to tell he flipped that camera. It's gonna be fun to play with.
So yeah, it was flying backwards with an upside down remote, I don't recommend it to anybody.
Are you kidding? I can't even fly line of sight with the aircraft coming back at me.
Yeah, I'm not a line of sight.
Just
so
yeah. So anyway, the BFQ was my absolute favorite part of the whole week. And the biggest reason why, I have known Joe over 13 years, guys, and I have never known him to get so nervous that his fucking hands sweat. When he stopped, and it was only a hover test, he wasn't even flying it. When he put that thing down from a hover test, he was like, right? Yeah. I was like, yeah, high five. And it was like, squish.
His knees were knocking for sure.
Yeah, it was well, the funny part is when you're doing the first kind of hover test, like we've all been nervous flight testing out, mating out a small one. You're like, oh, okay, I'll just stand way back. The problem with that one was literally how far is far enough? Because nothing good's gonna happen if someone gets nailed by it. That's for sure. So,
bro, all I could see if that thing was to go down, a little crooked, is like props breaking and sending shards everywhere.
Exactly.
Right? That freaking big old prop, like a Cessna losing its prop.
Yeah, right.
Props everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know if you can get the motors in your shot, Joe, but the motors on that thing are huge. They're not super tall, but they're really big in diameter.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see that thing just hauling ass around a big piece of property. Because I'll tell you, just to watch him fly around the MultiGP field was incredible. I can't wait for you guys to get that GoPro footage. Yeah, because the live stream footage is nowhere near as good as the HD footage.
I know we didn't strap our GoPros to it at the field. We should have.
Yeah, we should have.
There really wasn't anywhere to strap it to. So
no, not really.
Hey, Chuck's got that 2-way tape. I got like 4 sessions. We could have just.
Well, that's the plan. Actually, I'm actually trying to print up some of the using the ultra high bond 3M stuff to actually get that. Let me see if does that work? Nah, fuck. This one doesn't have a forward-facing camera, but let's do it this way. Problem is, I still have it folded up, so it's not easy to move around.
But yeah, it's Joe's investment in Joe's toy, and I can't stop thinking about it.
Oh, here we are. All right, cool. So there we go.
Check those things out. Look at all the poles on there.
Yeah, there's all the stators. Ooh, shit. Don't break it. Okay. So, so basically, I think it was like 24 stators in total. So, yeah, it does make for an interesting wind-up because it literally, it sounds weird. It's got this weird ring to it.
I was listening to the high-def footy from the college that day when I did put the GoPro between the eyeballs. And it was making this whistling, whirring sound. It was so cool.
Well, yeah, DV crash, drive crash is like a set of heli blades coming off.
What was the weight?
Eating it. And so, yeah, basically all you can do is grab your head and duck. That's
what was the weight? What was the total weigh-in on it, Joe?
12 pounds.
12 pounds, Bill.
That was, I think, with blade. If I remember correctly, that's with everything. That's with the batteries and all.
And that's you guys don't 12 pounds is nothing compared to this thing because I could just pick it up, walk away with it like it's my normal quad, just a little bigger.
Yeah. So the fun part with this one is that it doesn't act like a normal. That's why the big scare with it is the fact that it doesn't act like a normal drone, because you expect, you pop the stick, you expect it to just go. This is when you pop the stick and it goes, okay,
Right.
because of the amount of mass. It has nothing to do with the power. It's just, and that's the part that scares the crap out of you, is that when it doesn't do it instantly what you're used to it doing, it kind of makes you
Right.
scary.
Not to add that he flies it in acro because he wants the gyros to do or nothing, that he doesn't want it to do. So he's in full acro with that thing.
Yeah,
That's the real impressive part.
well, the reason for that is because if you put it in horizon and something starts going wonky, or
Right.
starts deciding that it doesn't think it's flat or thinks the angle's off, shit's gonna go real bad real quick. So, do I honestly do think I can flip it at this point with the PIDs straight? I think if I got enough altitude and I'm probably would have to. I gotta up the rates though, because it's so friggin' slow compared to what everything else I have. But
That's going to be scary though. No matter the altitude, that thing rolling over, and I mean, it's going to be one hell of a rollover to take a lot of space, and I just can't imagine your ass is going to pucker as soon as you get upside down. No, it's going to come back over.
Oh yeah, no, there's no doubt about that. It's going to be a serious butt clenching moment, but and that's one of the things actually. When that happens, actually, that's one thing I want to get is a bunch of session mounts and just strap them all over the thing, and that way, if it goes horribly wrong, at least it's well documented.
I'll say this, initially, of course, you were being conservative with your movements, understandably, but I was curious because when you look at the Beast class motors, right, they have a much, like, their stator's not as big in diameter, but they have a lot taller stator.
Correct.
And I know that tall usually translates to torque. Correct. And so I wasn't sure if those motors were going to have a good deceleration, like a braking. And correct. When you pop it and then you cut it, well, you can watch those props just slow right down.
Yeah, and that has a lot to do with the amount of drag on that big of a prop. So the U series motors, which those are the T-Max T-Motor U series motors, which are made for efficiency. They're not really power motors. I would have to basically throw those, was it ADP, APD ESCs I have, the 120s. I would move to those before I started, because then I have D-Shot and I have a lot better resolution on the throttle. Whereas these are old, they run on PWN. So they are slower. There's a lot more lag in the motor response. But with that big of a motor, those are designed to carry shit, so you're not going to be doing quick movements. It's designed for cruise. And like Chris had said in his video was, hey, this is a cruising rig. So the plan eventually, I think with Chuck, was basically first thing before we flip it is to turn it into a mothership. Find a way to fix like 4 or 5 drones to the bottom of it and just because that'd be fun.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
and so there was kind of a stage conversation because we did have people saying, hey, do a power loop or do a flip or something like that. Mm-hmm. And that's not an X class. It's not a Beast class. It's not meant to be acrobatic. Not that it won't. If you give it enough room, it'll roll over and flip, but it's not the purpose.
Exactly.
Now, X class and Beast class, they still only get a few minutes per pack because they are intended to be agile.
Yeah.
Right? This thing, we clocked it at one point at 17 minutes, and it still had some charge left.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's more mothership than race car.
Yeah, I'm like having these premonitions of like an Avengers short fan film where we've got the big fucking mothership, and then the little ships are dropping off from underneath, and then we just got to figure out how to redock midair. And for that, I can play the Inception theme from when he was trying to dock back up to the space station, and then we'll watch everything go to shit.
So what we do is we put on his arms, right? We just put like a little plate with like magnets, right? And then and on our quad, instead of skids, right? We use magnets, something that's not real hard. That way, when we raise our motor, we pop off of. But when we come back in and land, click, we lock right back in.
I see bad things happening.
This is obviously going to end poorly at some point, but it's going to be worth it.
Yeah, we'll have to get Joe at least half fund it back before we try that.
It's just the props, I think, that we have to worry about. I'll buy the next set.
We're gonna have to. I'm gonna take out an insurance policy.
Might be a smart idea.
Yeah, right. But anyway, it was a lot of fun. I mean, it was hair raising flying at the thing just because we hadn't gotten the PID straight. Once we got back to your house 2 days later and got the PIDs better, it's a lot more comfortable to fly. You're not getting a lot of unpredictable kind of wobbles and weird shit going on. But I suggest it to anyone. Build it. If you got a dream to build it, build it. You know, I got questions about it, dude. Josh helped me a shit ton a lot with the PIDs. He got to play with the black boxing on it, stuff like that. But definitely, man, if you want to build something in this, that's what we're all here for. If you got a question, you want to build something, have fun with it. Why the fuck not?
It really reinforces what I thought I knew about tuning, because with the 5-inch, there's so much information out there, and so much of it anymore is so similar that it almost is generic.
Mhm.
And that thing is nothing normal.
No.
Like
you did good at tuning it though, because you looked at that thing pretty much. He's like, "Yep, bring it in. I know what all I need to see. Take that thing back up." And you could see each time Joe lifted off, he got better, more confident with it. So,
yeah, but we got to a point where the tune really wasn't netting anything else more aggressive at a point. And you guys will love this. We're running P's at, if I remember, about 70-ish. We're running about 120 D's on it. And the motors come down ice cold.
Yep.
Do that on a 5-inch.
Yeah, right. Fire.
Well, the problem with that, running the Earl RC is going to run some electromagnets in each of the bottom of the arms. They can dock in midair. Problem with that is I can definitely, the amount of air being pushed off those, I don't know if you'd be able to even do even a gradual hover up to that thing, because the amount of downwash you'd have to almost like punch it to get it to go up. And at that point, you're dedicated. You're either going to smack it or dock. It's going to go badly either way.
Reaper's away for the pro at tuning my 5-inch.
Yeah, I know. I saw that too.
I don't think we're talking quads no more.
No, no.
Her name is Candy. Candy.
So, but then was it second day? Was it day after we did the racetrack? That was kind of a down day. The next day, which was good because there was some fixing to do. And was that the day we had the gate in your backyard and we were playing around? The days are all blending together, man.
Yeah,
I can't remember if that was Tuesday or Thursday. I'm lost. I think it was both days.
it was. But my second, so then we had a down day where we just kind of hung out. We did do a little flying, but it was there to repair, because at that point we had spent 2 days in the field bashing these things into anything that would take it.
And we did.
And we did. And we got everything back up and running on the down day and spent some time just hanging out and enjoying each other's company. Had these guys.
What are you talking about?
Yep.
I'm broken.
And then my second favorite day was Baltimore with Cricket's crew.
Yes.
Agreed.
And it's a close second. So I really like the big quad thing and all the excitement there, but I loved how down to earth and friendly his crew was. And it was so much fun sitting in everybody's goggles and kind of following along with them.
Yes.
I don't know. I had fun in Philly. I really did have fun in Philly talking to Botgrinder. And the main reason was, what was that, Chris?
I said, but you talked the whole time, though.
Damn right. Well, I wanted to pick his brain, man. You know what I mean? I wanted to find out a little
I'm
bit.
over there listening to him and Joe talk, and he's like, "So what's your first drone?" He's like, "A Hump the X4." I'm like, "Really? Did it fly to China on you?"
Exactly, right?
No, yeah, those days were awesome.
Yeah. No, I from a flying perspective, agreed. I had a lot of fun flying with Cricket, and actually just freaking sitting in the goggles watching him, dude. I was just ridiculous. But Bot was awesome because I liked picking Bot's brain to find out like how he got into the sport, like what his goals were. Like one of the questions I asked him was like, "Don't you find it odd to see your face all over shit? You know, because doesn't it kind of irk you out a little bit?" And he was funny because he was like, "Actually, yeah, it did at first because it was kind of like." He's like, I had to learn to separate myself from the brand, which, you know, they're two different things. And I was like, I never thought about that. It's like, I said, or are you the Brandon that's you? And he's like, oh no. I was like, dude, don't think too far into it. You're gonna break your brain.
But that's a fair point too, because Botgrinder is kind of a brand. And in that, what I mean is we got to see the difference between Doug and the on-screen Botgrinder, which was kind of fun too.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I tell you what I really enjoyed after the day we all went over to the prop shop. I thought that was excellent.
I agree.
I think Salisbury needs one.
I wasn't sure what to expect. I thought it was going to be a much smaller operation, and I was prepared to walk in, see 5 packs of props, and be like, woo-woo, but, we came. And no, it's a legit shop.
I know, me too. So I was thinking like it was probably like, say someone just had like something set up in like a little room or something, kind of the prop shop, but then you walk in there, it's just like a corner of a building, all glass. I mean, he had phantoms in there. He had pretty much done everything, So I thought it was pretty cool. I put it in the end of my video, so I'll give him a shout out. And if you're in Philly, stop by.
Yeah,
Alex,
well, and for a little while, he wasn't open very often, and my understanding is that he's making a big effort to be open more often.
That's cool.
And that's half the thing with a store. When you talk about the cost savings that you can have online, and don't get me wrong, he's not that far off, okay? Because you'll look at it and you'll go, well, those motors are $1 more expensive than online, but you're also not paying shipping.
Yes, his prices were awesome.
And then you don't have to wait 2 or 3 days for him to get there.
Welcome, Chucky.
Nice selection of motors too. He's got the Steel V2s. He's got high-end stuff. He's not running like old Emax red bottoms or some obscure shit. So pretty cool. What's going on, Chuck?
Nothing. He carries KISS gear too.
Well, not every shop is perfect. So
What's going on, gentlemen?
Make it, brother.
Yeah, I kind of got jacked at this delivery. I knew I would because they sent me to Costco. They're like, the appointment's at 7:30. Well, I get here at like 9:30, and well, of course, every single Costco has a sign on it that says receiving is open between 10 and 2.
Nice.
So,
of course,
I can't get away from the East Coast.
You can't. We want you.
A lot of people that live in Delaware, I can't speak for Eastern Shore, Maryland and all, but Delaware has this reputation of being a black hole.
That's funny. My wife calls where we live, how was the phrase she used? If the world needed an enema, this is where they'd stick the hose.
Yep. Well, I can see
Maryland, quite the beautiful state. I'm stuck in Pennsylvania, though.
Uh-oh.
How far did you get?
I don't know where the hell I am.
Oh, don't worry about it. I'm just curious.
He said, I don't know where the hell I'm in. Damn.
That voice there, which pretty much falls between Western Northern PA or Eastern Southern. They're kind of their own parts of PA.
Somewhere in the southern.
Yeah, okay.
Right. So I tried to look for the footy. I got to admit, guys, so Chuck's sitting on the back of Josh's pickup, him and Josh together. I didn't realize he's in my goggles with me neither. So I'm flying the Hump 5. So there's a limb that was like this, and the truck was like here. So I didn't go across this limb, right? There was a limb off like this way, so I went this way.
Excuses.
I went over, I hit some scraggle. It just did like, the pit retard thing that Beta does. Comes back, boom, lands right on Chuck's shoulder.
No. It did not land on my shoulder. It rocketed into my shoulder.
Now, Chris, I disagree with you. The problem isn't the Tasmanian Devil Beta Flight PID spin up. The problem was flying 6 feet away from a crowd of people in a crowded tree. So when I say fly safe, all right.
Wow. You can't even say it.
When I say fly safe and be smart, I was not talking about anything you did in that moment.
Touche.
It was hilarious because everything came out okay. And the part that still cracks me up is this quad comes down and just smacks Chuck right on his right arm, right? He immediately turns his head and rips his sleeve up and goes, "Am I bleeding?" But he doesn't look. Am I
It
bleeding?
didn't hurt my ink, did it? That's all he was worried about.
Yeah.
Funny.
Bro, I saved you from
That's
an ass
all I'm
whooping.
worried about.
Double
If I
A.
didn't like you, I'd have been like, look at the gash.
That would be funny. Watch him lose his shit.
Especially
I
when
would
you discovered that the tattoo was fine.
Yeah, right. I tried to look for that footy and just couldn't find it. For some reason, I don't know why the session didn't record it. I was curious on how it was to happen. I know how it happened because I flew through the limb, but I just can't get the drone going from over there to right on his lap. It was like, And then when I disarmed it, that's the thing. But anyway, pilot error. He was threatening to hit me in the face with a 6-inch quad, though, so.
He was doing that before any of us ever got together. So
Yeah, Chris got it in a preemptive strike.
oh man.
Hey,
Good
I got a question for all three of you.
Yeah.
What was your favorite spot?
I like my college. I'm not sure how I feel about the new spot that everybody discovered the first day we were there. And I'm really excited about it, but boy, it's hell on my equipment.
God damn it, yeah.
I would favorite spot, man. I don't know. I enjoyed flying Monday. I love that spot, the gazebos. I just loved being under the gazebo, and then you go out there and them trees are just like everywhere. And then when I throttled up and threw over top the trees and looked down, it was like, holy shit. But then I wasn't like nervous. I went right with it. So I really liked the Monday spot. Like, I love the trees. I guess getting more into wanting to do the MultiGP thing because the trees, I was underneath them trying like gates or whatever. But
we found a way.
Well, I don't know. For me, I think I like the gazebo spot because now it's been branded by Chuck's taint. Or I'm sorry, his quad.
he did put a 5-inch in that bad boy, or 6-inch.
All right.
Wait, the question we asked a question earlier, Chuck. Was that the one that caught on fire later?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that might have been the beginning of the end, in all honesty.
Yeah, I heard that part. I'll throw in my hat in the ring. My favorite spot was the center of the college. And wait till you guys see the footy from there. We pulled off shit we didn't think we could pull off.
So, okay, guys, here's the thing. Number one, one thing I really learned from this week was when you start flying with a bunch of people like this, they'll be like, "Hey, I bet you can't hit that gap," and then it turns into this like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna hit that gap."
Yep.
So when we were flying at Chris's spot, they were hitting this hole through a tree. And they're like, "Hey, Joe, why don't you hit the hole through the tree?" And I'm like, "Fuck you, I'll make my own hole." Pitch that bitch down through the middle of the tree.
You forgot one part. Is what pushed him over the edge was I'm like, pussy.
Yeah, like, yeah, pussy. Oh, it's on.
He had a party moment.
And I done broke my top plate on my freaking quad box. So I'm like, if I don't go up and hit that freaking gap, I will never hear the end of it. I'm like, do it. I just came right off the ground, right up to the tree. I was like, okay, that looks like it. And went right down the first time. Second time, not so good.
Yeah, I think it irked Chris a little bit that he, as soon as he told us, I've tried a few times, but I've never hit that dive yet, and I immediately go into it. I made it through. I did end up crashing afterwards, but and then Josh went and did it like 3 or 4 times, and he's just like, "Oh my god, I have to do it now."
Bro, you can't invite us to anything because we're gonna fuck up everything you love.
That's good. I like that.
Exactly. Hey, look, but I knew. So you've been talking for months, Josh. Josh is like, when I come down, I'm gonna show you. So I've had learned on a dive. Do not go. So if you're gonna dive this GoPro, do not go way up above the GoPro and come down. Just come up and kind of just go whoop right into it, because that was my number one problem, going way up and looking down at it. By the time I'm coming down on top of them trees, I'm moving so fast. I'm like, there's no way I'm attempting that shit. I'm going to break shit right out the gate.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, though, that's what you have to do if you wanted to make it look extra epic.
Yeah. I think Joe's footage probably did that.
I am going to tell you guys this, though. I grew more this week than I've grown in a long time when it comes to pushing myself. Because being surrounded by people like you guys, and especially Chuck. Chuck is my major pusher. I wish Chuck and I had more opportunity to fly together because we would get in some shit for sure.
I can't afford to keep flying with you guys.
Joe had to bring his wife's quad out, and I think he broke that too, didn't you? Or no, you didn't have a camera working or something.
Yeah, I didn't have a camera working on that one. Yeah, I had like I think I had like 15 quads. I think it was down to 2. One big Uber drone because I didn't fly that one, and one's a complete rebuild because RD was it Ryan. Ryan plugged in on me flying on the gazebo, and I destroyed my quad. So I'm blaming Ryan for that one.
Hey, Alvin has a question for Chuck. Is that frame on the one that caught fire still usable? If so, you rebuilding it in the same as before?
I suppose I could, but the only thing that happened to the frame was the bottom plate. The resin got completely evaporated out of the carbon on the top of the frame. So, I mean, I could cover it in super glue and try and save the base plate, but I got a new one.
That's it. Worth it.
The only things I lost were the FC and the 4-in-1 ESC.
Yeah, Chuck, Joe and I were doing a little research before we started the live stream, and it takes about 600 degrees Celsius to turn silicone to ash.
Which is what you did.
Oh, the board itself, the PCB was, I'll say,
gone.
Plasma cut.
Yeah,
I think would be the right term. One of the ESCs was plasma cut off of the thing. So,
I'm trying to find a video where it was still smoking.
Yeah, it was.
Chris,
good.
Chris has got it on his phone. He's the only one who recorded the burning.
I'm actually mad that nobody had a quad that was like actively recording with a GoPro on it, because I was sitting on the bench and like I look around, I heard just smack, and I look over and I see, yeah, that's smoke, and I'm like, oh, shit, that's fire, Chuck, fire, Chuck, fire.
That's exactly how it went.
For all you guys who are sitting here talking about how hot it was and the fire, and even for you guys that saw it, I was in the goggles standing 35 yards away flying my drone. Yeah. And when I got the whiff, I immediately parked the drone on the ground. I thought it was my drone putting off this smell and something was going up. Yeah. I had no idea this guy was that far away having fireballs shooting out the side of his drone.
The funny part is I walk up to Josh, and Josh is sitting there sniffing his drone like, where the hell's this smell coming from? I'm like, dude, he's on fire over there.
I found it.
Oh, shit, really?
Well, and I didn't realize what he said at first. I'm like, yeah, I can smell it, but I can't find anything. I don't know where it's coming from. And he's like, listen to the words in my mouth. Chuck is on fire. And I'm like, Chuck's on fire?
That was funny. That was hilarious watching you, because I didn't know at first what you're doing. I see over here like, you start looking all around.
And nobody thought to troll him.
Hey, if you can present me, I got that video of it.
Here it comes.
I don't have no flames, but you guys can see the smoke. There you are.
Presented.
Do it good. He caught that bitch on fire. She laying over here smoking. Watch the smoke now.
Still smoking. So here's my question for you, Chuck. You had that truck inspection coming up. Have you gone there yet?
No, my bosses don't seem to think it's very important.
So I would leave that burnt ass drone in there and let them find that whiff and smell.
That's what you keep telling me, but do I really want my brand new truck stuck in the shop for a week and me with a shitty loaner?
That's true. I didn't think of that.
They might be able to get the conformal off your floor.
Most of it's actually worn off where my feet go anyway.
His bag even
takes it off.
he was flying with me. What day were we flying together? I'm like, damn, bro, you still smell like that. He's like, it was only sitting on my bag.
Oh man. He threw it in the back of Josh's truck, and we're standing around the truck, and I'm like, I gotta move. I can't take it. This thing stinks. Sitting in the open air.
And he was very polite about it. When we got to the house, he's like, bro, I really want to take this inside and figure out what's salvageable, but I don't want to stink up your house. I was like, bring it in, do what you're going to do. By that point, I guess from sitting in the back of the truck, it had all pretty much blown out. Now, if you touched it, you got the smell on your fingers from the soot and all, but the house was fine.
See, my wife, the second day they hit the yard, my wife had been like,
what's your smell?
Ooh, it still reeks, dude, if you get within 3 feet of it.
I love that. Look at that.
Now, I don't know how well you guys can see, but see how the carbon looks
dry,
particularly clean in one spot?
Yeah.
That's where all the resin got melted right out of it.
Yeah.
Impressive.
I haven't taken it apart to see what the inside looks like because this Immortal T is actually completely melted onto the quad.
Yeah.
At least you know it'll never fall off.
I can still taste it. This far away from me, I can taste the shit.
Oh.
Ugh.
Yeah, I got a mouthful of it that day, and damn near I was like, what?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I got a race bike that smells like that, so I know exactly what you're talking about. It's hanging on the wall in the shop. So, God, man, that's just talking about makes me. I can smell it again.
Let's just say all week I saw Chuck like not moving fast at all. He's like on his vacation, enjoying it.
Yeah.
When that smoke appeared, whew, he was gone.
Yeah, that boy can move. He can be surprised.
Gotta save them parts, man.
No, there was no. Did the GoPro ever power up or no? Is it toast too?
I'd be honest, I haven't even thought about it. I haven't plugged it in yet.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that sucked to lose that too. Anyway,
yeah, I'm watching you guys talk about being at I/O, and I would really love to make it there. One thing I appreciate about our group is we're not big partiers. I guess we're over that point in our life, and apparently there's still a lot of party that goes on at those events.
Which event?
So we've got guys that are at I/O, the International Open.
Yeah. Okay.
And let's go ahead and put it out there. So we've already been talking about next Noobapalooza, and it sounds like we are going to do it right around Indianapolis next year. So for you faggots that want to join in and come hang with the crew and enjoy our company and allow us to break all your shit, start packing away a little bit of money and start making plans to be somewhere around Indianapolis next April, May-ish.
You got me thinking of flying.
That'll also include around Chicago at my secret bando complex.
I'm just seeing the list getting ordered now.
This is the GoPro. The light is on.
Oh, sweet.
So it's charging. You're good.
So it is charging.
That's awesome because you could even get the power up before.
It made a beep when I pressed the button. There's no LCD though.
No. No, we're not really drinkers.
I'm not a drinker.
Nah.
Not a smoker.
Me neither.
Come 9 o'clock, I like to be parked in front of a television somewhere watching Game of Thrones or something. Like, that's my idea of a good time, drinking a Coke.
Oh.
It accepts voice commands still.
Cool.
This guy. He flies with his Wi-Fi on, still have his voice commands on. He's like, GoPro turn off. I'm like, do you still really use that? He's like, yeah, I'm on Wi-Fi. I'm like, man, last time I put Wi-Fi on the GoPro and put it on the drone said, goodbye.
Yeah, that's because you were doing it on some little toy drone.
GPS, I think it interferes with.
Is it really? Where did the one my buddy sent me? My buddy sent me a video of some quad flying, and if I can find a place that does this, I so want to go. Where we got to find I'm sure there's someplace out by Chicago that does this. We're on the Eastern Shore of Maryland. There's nobody that does this shit here. Where is it?
Context, Joe.
Flying quads around drifting tracks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that would be fun. Or like Josh got that BMX track up where he's at, or that was that dirt bike track he said. That would be cool.
Yeah, but soft targets, I worry about soft targets. I'm not worried about bouncing off a car because you ain't gonna hurt the car. Especially race cars.
If dirt bike riders are smart, they're wearing armor.
Well, we're
Well,
on
not chasing them, just going over there and just on a day or off and just run the track. Think about being low on the ground, coming up off the jumps like a dirt bike, dude. I could do that.
To be honest, I've done it, and it's pretty fucking boring.
Well, you're boring, but anyway.
Also had access to an off-road go-kart track, which would be cool for a tight race.
Right.
But other than that, it gets old real quick.
By yourself, I get it. Like, if you had somebody there chasing you, kind of what we were doing. Me and Chuck was doing the last day of flying, treating quads badly.
Very much so.
Night Train says find a couple of amateurs that ride and go hit it or hit them, because to me that'd be just as much fun.
Yeah, well, let me just elaborate on what Chris was talking about on treating quads badly. He's like, hey, just hover there, man. I'm going to try and hit you. So I'm like, okay. And apparently he hit me a few times, and my flight controller is so fucking good, I didn't even know it.
Now, whether it was the 4S versus 6S, his the efficiency, it didn't even move him. It was like my quad's like, brr! He just stays right there. I'm like, really?
I didn't even see my camera twitch. Seriously, on like 2 hits that he said he hit me.
So did
and then we tried to ram the quads, but that's a lot harder than you think it is.
Oh yeah, it is. So Josh, are you getting the dick touchy video?
What?
You know what I'm talking about? At Chris's spot?
Oh.
That's a great time for your wife to walk up.
Watch it, bro, you're in trouble.
Hey, Laura.
Suddenly, Josh is blushing.
Yeah, no one knows what you're talking about, bro.
That's it. She's finally sword fight. Yeah, exactly. Night Train knows all about it. My wife is complaining because Uber drone is in her spot in the bed.
Uh-oh. Just throw it in the floor.
Don't you dare.
Do you hear that? That was the line being drawn. Don't you dare.
He moved quick on that one.
Right?
You know, I was thinking about a night flight tonight, but I've been dealing with these crazy storms because I went through the mountains tonight, right?
Hmm.
And there were some points where I couldn't see 5 feet from my truck.
Damn.
All right.
Oh, yeah, you got some nice weather there.
Uh-huh.
Reminds me of Philly. Don't worry, it'll be done in 30 seconds.
That's what she said.
Yeah, right. Twice.
And once in the morning.
That would have been that's a good idea, Ed. No, because I think when they park their trucks, they're pretty much parked. That would be cool. He said I should have gotten your truck and rode shotgun and followed the truck. That would have been epic. No, because your GPS messes with your signal, though, right?
Only a little bit if you get in between you and the truck. Like if you're standing in front of the truck and you go behind it, you might get a little breakup.
Gotcha. We should have did that. That'd been epic.
Like it I've done it before with Ketchum, not the ride along, but flying around it, and it fucked him up more than it ever did me.
Huh.
So funny thing, Chuck. Today in work, there was a question about someone hacking their Wi-Fi and stuff in their trucks. I was like, that's kind of funny because I had a conversation with a buddy of mine about that this week.
I deny everything. I don't know what you're talking about.
I know nothing. Well, that's why I tell them, like, I don't have a letter from the company. I can't touch it. And you were like, oh.
Pussy.
I didn't say nothing. I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
What are you talking about, huh? Nothing.
No clue.
No clue? Okay.
Fan, did you fart? You nasty ass fucking dog.
Oh, smells like dog ass.
Acceptable because I just broke wind and it is nothing nice.
The Great Dane's like, and I don't know what you're talking about. What, did Chris's camera break? Is he running one of those Kiss Rig cameras?
Oh, maybe it called.
Has any of you guys watched the video on that new high def camera?
Which one?
Josh knows what I'm talking. Radix makes it. It looks like a fucking split, but it's supposed to be like low latency, high def video, like in the goggles.
It's the Cadix Tarsier or something. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, Radix.
That's not for high def FPV. That's just a 4K camera. It's the first like split style camera that actually supports 4K.
I thought it was supposed to be in goggles because people were saying, "Is this the next
Run cam?
that failed attempt?" I forget what they were called.
No, it's one camera that has two lenses, and technically, what it is it's two different cameras. So, in order for you to not get the latency from the 4K recording, the 4K sensor records to SD card. The other sensor is a low latency camera that outputs to FPV.
Oh, so it's just another piece of shit split.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Never mind.
I was gonna say it sounds exactly like what the split does, except for a higher resolution.
Yeah. Sorry, anybody in chat. I'm totally ignoring you. I'm not on chat tonight.
It's a twin camera.
Yeah. My understanding is, so I have the Ratel, and I'm going through figuring out how much I like it right now. But my understanding is that the FPV camera is the Ratel, and then the 4K is whatever sensor. But again, it's just for the high def footage to record to SD.
So, have you flown the Ratel yet?
Yeah, I was flying it all last week.
Now, how is it over the Eagle?
The shimmering doesn't exist. I was having some problems with field of view, but I come to find out it's because the Ratel was in 4.3. And in 4.3 mode, it only gets 140-degree field of view.
Yeah.
Once I switched it to 16.9, I got that 170 degrees, and all of a sudden I felt like I could see again.
Well, I also heard that you want to get the 1.8 lens on there, not the 2.1 that came with it.
I love the 1.66 lens. That's where I'm getting that extra field of view. I'm in love with it.
Oh, so you got the version 1 because it was Rugi that was saying the second version comes with a 2.1 that sucks balls.
What's it called?
Well,
the Cadix what?
I don't know if there's versions because, see, there's options. You can get a 1.66 millimeter aperture or you can get a 2.1. I always go for like the low ones because like I'm a fan of 1.8. But I like that fisheye. I like getting that really big field of view because otherwise I can't see around myself.
Well, I've always been fine with the 2.1, the one that comes with the Eagle.
Not to change the subject, but Blizzard said, so my buddy's Dom V3 just fried. He was using Furious FPV module and the sharks cooked. Anyone else? That's got me concerned. I run Dom V3s with the Furious FPV module. George.
I didn't see that. Let me see what it says.
Was he using rapid fire?
Is that,
that was the Ratel, Joe, you were asking.
Okay.
He said the Furious module. Is that the Furious FPV, the True D? RCGroup.com.
I don't know, but I'm still using the True D 3.6 module, just the diversity module. I have no plans on upgrading yet because it does everything I need it to.
Oh, so you're running 3.6 too then? 3.6. Okay, yeah, I was going to update mine because I'm running 3.6. They say the 3.8 was better than all of them, but I have no trouble with 3.6.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that when I was younger, I was always trying to get the latest, the greatest, the newest, and I hit a point in my life where I flipped, and now as long as it works and works the way I expect, I generally don't fuck with it. Because my biggest fear is that in trying to fix or get the latest, greatest, I'm going to break something else.
Right, gotcha.
So.
That's why I fly what I do. And you guys have always given me shit for it.
Oh, no, you jumped on the bandwagon. Don't even pretend.
Hey, anything that didn't work got dropped.
You got the Turtle EOS.
Or burnt.
Or burnt.
Well, no, that just means it was working entirely too well.
It was way too. It was hot. It was. I mean,
Funny thing is, Josh almost had the same thing, but his kind of, I guess he was about 100 feet up, so it went out before it hit the ground. That ESC, he had smoked. He smoked the ESC power looping that day.
that's true.
Well, I was just flying across the parking lot level at that point when my FET went out, but it was only one FET. I did notice that ESC was getting warm because, you know, the way I grab the quad when I pick it up to plug it in and unplug it, when I was picking it up to unplug it, I noticed that the ESC was warm, and that's not something I've ever had. And my other drone running the same exact ESC, it always comes down cold. So
We think it was just a bad MOSFET.
I mean, look, I don't know. I'm not going to say I don't think it was a bad MOSFET because the Acon AK32 uses all new hardware, and that was my primary quad, and I was beating it into things and throwing it into stuff, and I think it's just something I did.
Yeah, basically what you guys can all take away from this is that the videos that are going to be coming out about Noobapalooza are going to be pretty fucking cool. There's going to be a lot of crash reel, and maybe we'll do one whole video on crash reel. Lord knows we'll have plenty of it.
I took down a big ass tree.
We treated our quads
I forgot about that.
we ever have before.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about Chris's tree trimming
I
experience.
don't know what happened there. I still haven't went back and watched that footage, but that was some crazy shit.
That was
Well,
fun.
That made it into Cricket's video, didn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No, we need to put that in there.
That shit was funny though. That was gold right there.
It comes over. Look at this guy banging up my spot.
Yeah, sends a drone into a tree and a whole fucking branch falls out of the top of it. And I don't mean I mean a branch. Somebody would have been if they were standing underneath of that.
And all I did was go to hit a gap in the tree, right? Some scraggle was sticking out. Wham! It spun my drone around, shot me to the ground, and then I see myself hit the ground, and that's when I hear the boom. I'm like, what the hell was that? And you guys just start tripping out. I'm like, whoa.
Madman.
What the hell are you doing, man? Busting up my
Get a new hole to dive. Come on.
Well, look, guys, I want to speak because this week being the hardest, you know, I've been talking about the durability of the frames I run and the hardware that I run. I brought the least quads of anybody the entire week. I only had 2 drones. And until the very end of the week, they kept taking all the abuse. That Pyro Flip floss glide frame worth every fucking dollar.
I agree.
F7, AK32s, the iFlight Sing motors, all excellent, excellent hardware.
I absolutely agree. That's what I was flying most of the time was the Glide and with Zing motors, and I never put any of my quads through anything like I did this week before, even learning.
No, not even close. And the one arm that I replaced, Chuck, that got really flimsy, it was already compromised before the week started. I was just pushing it to get everything I could out of it. About the time it started feeling like a slinky, I knew that it was time.
Right?
No, let's see here. I had the crash in Baltimore that took out an arm and a frame, and then I had the crash at Chris's that took out an entire frame, but that was like 100-foot plummet inverted. And then I lost a PDB, 2 PDBs, and broke one arm off the 7-inch. And that was electronic wise. That's the only thing I lost. Though you did burn up a Zing motor, Chuck. You're
Yeah.
Well, that's because I was being an idiot. That wasn't even flying. That motor had never even seen the sky.
he's like, hey, it's making a hey, it's smoking.
Arm, disarm, arm, disarm, arm, disarm. And he's being a smartass. And I'm like, bro, your motor's smoking. He's just steady going. I'm like, dude, it's smoking. He kept going. I said, it's going to catch on fire. And he's like, oh, look at that.
Toast.
Takes it, throws it behind him.
The most I broke this week was I had like little minor things. Well, at the end, me and Chuck, I ended up damaging a motor on my Kiss rig. But other than that, I blew a $50 ESC out of the Hawk 5. But that was my stupid fault because, number one, I didn't put the zip tie back through the frame to hold like Emax done in the beginning. And for two, I put a strap on with a plastic, I don't know what you call it, plastic hook type thing. I would suggest not doing that, getting metal hooks. Because all I did was go backwards like this, and I bumped the tree, and all I did was kick my battery out while I'm anal about going in my XT connectors and spreading that piece out and making that connector real tight. I don't suggest you do that no more neither. Just let the battery fall off.
So, and also, I forgot about the Luminaire Popo. Well, the Luminaire Popo I killed at your spot with that cable wire coming across the.
I didn't see that.
You had gone in for that. We were out flying around, and I had said, I'm going to rock the camera up like Josh does and start ripping through there. Came right through there and caught that crosswire coming down right across, popped the whole top, broke the shaft out of Luminaire Popo. I was like, well, okay, down one more.
I hit that one day. I come around, I come ripping through that area, right? And I come snapping around that telephone pole. I thought I was doing something good. My quad came and smacked it on the side. I'm telling you, when you hit them wires, they're just like frame cutters. They just cut that frame right in half.
That was the same frame that I bounced off the building in New York.
Oh.
But didn't damage the frame, just destroyed the motor. Just literally ripped the shaft right out of the motor. So,
Well, I also took out 3 arms, delambed them, turned them into jello, killed a top plate, burnt the motor, fucked up a GoPro, and the FC and the 4-in-1.
Yeah.
Well, no, I did lose my my Stinger quad, but that thing was doing ghost signals or something that day at Josh's house. It was like down the frame or something. And good thing he said, "Let me check your motors," because I landed and then he touched it and just it twitched and a puff of smoke come out. But I was like all over his neighbor house, flipping up, not over your neighbors, but the fence and turning it back upside down. I was like, man, if that thing would have failed and fell in his yard. Just
because he's such a ray of fucking sunshine anyway. I went over there and talked to that asshole, and I was like, hey, are we okay? And he's like, the fucking noise. And I'm like, all right, the last couple of days, I said, I apologize. Yeah, but you started doing this weeks ago. I said, it's been weeks since there was any flying going on in the yard. Yeah, but it makes so much noise. I'm like, for 15 minutes. He's like, yeah, but it's so loud. And I'm like, you're just being a fucking dick.
He was an asshat.
Well, and the biggest thing that he was an asshat, he didn't say shit to me.
Yeah.
He was rude to Chris. I'm like, you fucking prick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No balls.
None.
Him and his old lady just need to move. They want to be like old people and live in the country where no noise is ever made by anybody. They don't need to be in a community full of kids.
See, I'd be that guy that like takes my riding mower and just turn it on and fucking park it and just leave it running.
Yeah.
Out of gas, fill it back up and let it go. And I'd fly my quad while I was doing that and be like, fucker, find the quad.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, Josh,
I'm thinking about it. I did break a little bit more. So I broke an FPV camera at the races that day. I did burn out one motor. I have one motor that would only twitch. It's completely fucked. It was one of the Flywoos, the Nins. So top plate, FPV cam, motor, arm, and some batteries because I chopped up some batteries too.
I did 2 batteries as well.
I lost one.
All in all, not bad. And I went through about 20 sets of props.
I can't. Yeah. Props.
I don't know how many props. Hey,
He
Chuck,
don't even want to say nothing about props.
You expect to go through props. I mean, there are some packs I put brand new props on, set the drone out, and by the time it came back, I was like, well, time for another set of props.
You didn't realize it, Josh, but you burnt about 15 more packs that you just forgot about.
Yeah. I was blacked out.
Friggin', I went at one point in that real tight spot in the college. I was going through a set of props per pack.
Yeah.
That was a fast area, though.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I was watching some of my footage too, and something Josh said a while ago kicked off in my head. I was watching the 6-inch, the Cycle Quad, and that thing sings, dude. Like your quad, it's got that vibration or whatever. Yeah, it's a little lower pitch, but yeah, it makes a weird ass fucking sound.
Mine freaked me out because it sounded like kids talking in the room behind me, but every time I turned around, there's nobody there. I'm like, holy shit, guess who's sleeping with the lights on tonight?
Yeah, right. Hey, Night Train wants to know what killed your motor, Josh.
I did. I ran it into something, fucked up the wires, and it actually bent some of the windings. It compromised them. So,
dude, we all got sun, man. We all got baked a couple days.
My hat got tagged. So this is everything from Noobapalooza 2019. Who didn't sign it? Ryan, I think, right?
Yep, Ryan.
I think everyone else signed it. Bot,
Vampire, maybe.
Josh, Joe, Chuck, Willie P. I didn't get Will. The other dude that was at Baltimore, I didn't get Will to sign it. I don't think.
Night Train, I'm speaking up while I see this, and it's fresh on my mind. Do not buy the Nin motors. I'm going to tell you why. They're $24 a piece. You can only buy them from China. They take fucking forever to get here. And here's the deal. The iFlight Sing motors cost $4 less per, if not $5 or $6 if you catch them on sale. They are the same exact motor in every way, and they cost less. And you can get them on Amazon.
And beat the shit out of them.
Bro, they are better than hype trains. They're better than all these $20 plus motors, these $25 motors. I will put a Sing up to them all day long. They're efficient, but they're really torquey, but they're smooth, and they are hardcore durable.
And you can get them in any kind of freaky fucking size that you want, from insanely huge to tiny.
True.
Yeah, what Chris doesn't know is I stole one of those motors out of that package. You don't know which one it is, though.
Hey, you're good. You're good because these are Ryan's motors anyway.
All right, Ryan.
I got 2 batteries from the battery fairy.
I got some 1800s coming for a 6S build.
I've been hearing that for like a week and a half now.
They've got mail, dude. They're just, I don't know what the deal is. From Amazon, too. Sometimes Amazon takes forever.
I know you're Amazon.
I paid the extra couple bucks per motor and got them Prime 2 days.
These are 2207, 2750. These are big dogs. So, yeah, Ryan's going to have a rooster that's going to be a bitch.
So wait, he said Propsoft says he runs a 2506 1250 kV motor on a 7-inch. I'm presuming you're running on 6S for that?
That sounds like an efficiency setup to me.
Yeah, that's almost what I've got on mine.
Oh, yeah. 2506. I've got 3 sets of Zings. Now I haven't bashed on them too much, like smack the ground and all that kind of thing with them yet. But my rooster I did. I gotta say that I did cartwheel across the ground like 3,000 feet. I'm only kidding. Josh goes, this guy goes 2 feet and he tells you 200 feet.
Chris, my motors after this week, prior to this, they've still looked pretty good because the Glide arms have really good motor protection.
Right.
Both of my front motors especially look like I've been scraping them across the black top.
Wow.
They're excellent.
Well, you do scrape them across the black top.
Hey, when you guys get to see the video of the Cycle Quad, ooh, baby. Josh, I know, was telling you a little bit about it, that it got his anxiety going on, dude. That quad is so fucking fast. It's insane. And not necessarily top speed, but top cruising speed and acceleration is out of control. But those are the 2208, 2150 kV Primos, multi-rotor build. And dude, those motors, the Primo motors are great. I gotta say that right now because I have been running them on hot days, and those things are scalding when they come down. Just because I'm running psycho amps through them. What I normally get is like a 5-minute flight or so on my 6S 5-inch quads is a 2-minute flight maximum. Just because this thing is, I can't even wait till you guys see it. It's fucking nuts.
Actually, a prop off. I think actually that rig would run a hell of a lot better on 6S. To be honest with you, you get a lot more power out of that one.
It is on 6S.
No, he says 5S.
Oh, and
fine. I can't see chat. So.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. No, he's talking about his 7-inch with the.
Now Chuck's talking about those multi-builder Primo motors, but I have the multi-builder, just the average, plain motors, not the Primos, and they are great motors. Like I can vouch for even them motors being really good. Of course, it's on a KISS rig. I don't know if that makes a difference. But
You
no,
gotta
they're really nice.
So I'm telling you, you haven't experienced full KISS yet.
Does it come with a fire extinguisher?
Experience, but I know you haven't experienced full KISS yet.
I just have to put them on. Chuck, give me the V1 ESC, so all I gotta do is hook them up.
Did you give you the fire extinguisher with it?
Yeah, I'm gonna get one.
That will be bench tested outside. Guys, Chuck.
Chuck's silent for some reason. He's muted.
No, I got another driver come up. I need to see if he needs this dock.
Oh.
But
yeah, the things, man, for anybody who's looking, I'm still running 4S because 4S batteries right now are so cheap.
I'll be back.
Wrong, you can find good 6S batteries, as Chuck has witnessed, on a budget. But I'm still rocking the 4S for now, and I wanted to try something different, so I went with the 2750 kV motors. They're still, they don't rate batteries or anything, and they've got a ton of output. And I even had to down prop. So I was originally running 5043s from HQ Prop, and they just had way too much pop once I upgraded those motors. I ended up settling on the Johnny props that are running on a 3.8 pitch, and they're also a 4.8 diameter, so they're a little bit smaller around.
Mm-hmm.
And I love them the most. They are the smoothest flying. They give me the right amount of pop without being too punchy. And they really harness that high KV well.
So I know was it Chuck had got rid of some of the throttle band on the top of his 6S rig because he was running their higher KV motors. I'd be interested in doing a little bit of calculating to find out what he's running on his and seeing, because Alex here is saying he's also running 5S at 2400 kV, which seems on the high side ish. He probably get some prop wash issues at the high at full throttle.
I'll run on my Rooster. I have 2750s. I run 5S on it, but I'll run now that I don't mind running the HQ prop because I like that little bit of flimsiness. Now if I get wide open, I'll get that flutter. But other than that, the efficiency part, it's right on. Like I was kind of worried about the high KV with that 5S. It seems like it's more efficient than the 4S. And then, like I said, now if I put a stiffer prop like the Gem Fan on there, it's really fast, and I can probably see where it may end up burning a motor on just that. But I kind of run it mainly I wanted it to be a 5S rig, but then I wasn't. When I started getting into that, I wasn't good on calculating what KV and all that until I start talking to you guys and all. So, but I run it anyway, and I mean it seems okay, but.
Well, the concern with Alex and people running the 6S, 5S rigs with a high KV is that once you get to that top end band, you're just chopping air. The props are no longer efficient. You're going to lose a lot of efficiency. Whereas I know Chuck had basically chopped off the top of his his curve on his transmitter, so that even though he's at full throttle deflection, according to the value, he's only maybe at 75%. So
Right.
you're not getting that same issue. You know what I mean? It's a way to deal with that high kV, high voltage in this thing. So I mean, once Chuck's able to get back on, I'd like to hear how he did his.
Well, I can tell you because he did it while I was there.
Okay.
He's actually limited to. Oh, sorry, he's back.
Yeah. What now?
We're talking about the high kV motors with high, your Success rig with your high kV motors, how you chopped your throttle.
Well, I mean, high kV is 2150 on 6S. That is high kV.
Yes.
And that's on my 6-inch rig. I chopped shit. I think I'm at like 40% throttle.
Yeah.
So I chopped 60% of the top off, just because it didn't do anything. All the power was in the bottom, just wasting amps at that point, you know.
Yeah.
So, and it's working really well. I mean, it smooths it out and it makes it so I can fly it and look smooth and stuff. But when everybody wanted cycle quads, so I put it back to I think it was 10% chopped off.
Yeah.
Just psycho.
Yeah, because that turns into the big debate on high kV with high voltages. Where's the diminishing return, so to speak?
And I know
I wouldn't go higher than 2150, although I have seen people that do.
Well, I mean, Alex over here's got 5S on 2400 kV. So
I would say that's a power setup. That's not a efficiency setup.
Yeah.
Because like my 5-inch quads, they're set up for efficiency, although they are pretty fast as the way they're set up. It also depends on what props you're using. Like on my 5-inch is 1700 kV with, what is it, like 3.1 pitch props or 3 pitch props, so almost no pitch.
Yeah. And
great response, good efficiency if you're not just a madman, hot dogging it everywhere. But dude, the 2150s, there's no efficiency there whatsoever.
Yeah.
Even with Johnny props, which are what size are they? 4.8 is the size, Josh?
What's that?
The Johnny props. What size are they?
They're 4.8 by 3.8.
Yeah, so I threw those on there just to mess around on the 6-inch, and I might have gained 30 seconds from it. So 2 minutes 30 seconds flight.
Yeah.
Percentage-wise, that's a big gain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's going from what was I running? 60-40s or 6? Yeah. What were those ones you gave me, Chris? 60-40s, B1S?
6, yes. Because you give me, what, 60-42s?
Yeah. Or were they 60-30s?
60-40, yeah. Or no, they might have been 30s.
Yeah. Those are pretty good.
On my high kV sings, if I get the PID tune just right, I can use the full 100% throttle band, and it won't start fluttering at the top. But the second the motors start getting just a little bit warm, they'll get a little fluttery.
Mm-hmm.
If I chop it to 90 to 95%, I never get that top throttle flutter.
Right.
And that's what I do. That's what I do with my regular 5-inch quads as well.
At a full 2750 kV 100% throttle scale, that's just under 48,000 RPM, if I recall correctly. And if I just chop the last couple thousand RPM off of it, I get the best flight.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because as you get, I get somewhere I saw a calculator for pitch at prop size for per max RPM before you start running into problems. So I mean, yeah, it's skirting it, but yeah, that's the part that I enjoy. Hey, look, another Swift truck.
This guy ain't gonna be able to get his door open. He stays this close to me.
You have to crawl out his passenger side.
I'm starting to see those blue Swift trucks everywhere now. I never really noticed until last week.
Yeah, it's the new one. The new one. You don't see the big lightning bolt on the side. It has like a shield emblem.
Yep.
There you go. Fix your shit, boy. He ain't fixing shit.
We're about to be witness to an accident.
Nah, he's good.
He's another Swift driver.
Ooh, Swifty in the
Shit.
house.
There we go.
I don't trust Swiss drivers. Shit.
I don't either. What you got going on there, Chris?
I have a set of Botgrinder gimbal protectors for a Tyrannus QX7.
I was thinking about
Well, you owe $1.
Would like to do them as a giveaway tonight, so you guys go ahead and do it how you normally do a giveaway, and I'll mail them out to the winner.
Nice.
All right. Well, let me fire up my notepad here.
Let's just do this. You, Chris, you want to do this for everyone that's in chat?
Sure, however you guys want to do it.
All right. We haven't done one of those in a little bit.
All right. So here's what we're going to do. If you are interested in receiving a hot orange set of Botgrinder gimbal protectors that will fit the Tyrannus QX7, throw a hashtag bot into the chat. We'll give this about 5 minutes, and then we'll do the giveaway. Hashtag bot if you want some free shit.
And that's
For QX7, you got to have a QX7.
yeah, it'll fit, and it would probably fit other radios, but it's mainly made for the QX7.
I was gonna make dick gimbals, but I was told I couldn't do
I
that.
still want a set of those.
I got pink. That'll work good.
Oh no, you need that flesh TPU. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
They got flesh colored TPU, so that's some fucked up stuff right there. And then if you look too far in Thingiverse, you will find a lot of dildos. I'm just saying, there are a lot of dildos out there.
Yes. And butt plugs with kazoos.
Yes. Did you see, by the way, the butt plug collection on Thingiverse?
No, I didn't even think to look.
I figured Joe would have already.
I seriously was like looking through it. I'm like just scrolling, and I'm like, butt plug collection. It was like literally like a stack of like 7 different types. I was like,
I bet none of them have built-in rape whistles, though.
I also found a print job for, was it 118 decibel whistle? We can put that on there.
And no one knows why the hell we're talking about this.
Good point. Yeah, sorry. No, my wife's like, nobody wants to know.
Deep inside joke.
Deep inside. Way, way inside. Like, not sitting for days. What does it say?
All right. So far, we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people interested. So pretty high odds at winning these.
Which one of them are any of them Canadian?
Yep.
Good point.
Canadians are killing us with shipping.
Whatever. Chris will pay it.
It is interesting the amount of Canadians that we get, to be honest with you.
We're just the right kind of freak for the Canucks, eh?
Right? All about that sticky, syrupy sweetness.
Which is ironic because we're, I would figure it would be the opposite, like the anti-Canadian.
I love Canadians. Not Montreal, not the fucking French from Montreal.
Because they speak about as much English as Josh does today.
Yes, exactly. Them and their PFK.
So the funny part was, what day was it that we went out to go grab something to eat? We went to the burger place. Was it Sunday? Monday? I don't fucking remember. Anyway, we're all sitting there. We go eat burgers. We're sitting up, like getting ready to leave. And of course, I drove, and Chuck and Josh were there. They drove his vehicle. And I'm going south. They're going back up north. And literally, like, we're sitting in the back of the thing, like, just shooting this shit, like, at the back of his truck for, like, an hour. The restaurant closed, and the employees are leaving. We're still outside, so shooting the shit. Chuck goes, Jesus Christ, I feel like we just had a Wednesday show, like, at the back of his truck. The whole, like, 2 hours.
Hey, you can't get Joe to shut up. The thing is, you don't really want him to, because he's got great stories.
That indeed.
Oh man. Hey, one of my coworkers asked me, so how was your Noobapalooza thing? I said, great, nobody got arrested.
That's a good thing.
Always a plus. And we should share. We had a first, okay? So normally when we go places, and I say normally because it happens fairly frequently, we will run into police or security or somebody who's kind of keeping an eye on the property, right? And usually it starts like this. Hey, what are you guys doing? And from there, it goes a few different ways. Either they're like, hey, you can't do that here, at which point we just back up and go. Or they're like, hey, that's bad as shit. And we're like, come here, check this out. You know?
Yeah.
Well, we're at the college. And normally when we've gone up to the college, it's either been really late in the afternoon on a Saturday or a Sunday. And pretty much nobody's there is what I'm getting at. Well, this time when we went, there was still some classes going on in the morning on Saturday or the early afternoon. And out of nowhere, we see security guard coming up. He's riding his Segway, right? And we're like, oh, here it comes. So all of us are starting to bring the drones in so we can put them on the ground and listen to this guy bitch or something, right? He comes up. He gets about 20 yards from us. He sits there for a minute, looks at us, doesn't wave, doesn't say hi, doesn't say how you doing, doesn't flick us off or say fuck you. He spins that bitch around and drives away. He's like, I don't give a shit.
Nope. Don't want any part of that. Nope.
But the terrifying thing was he was so quiet and he was riding all these paths like under trees and shit. Chuck was paranoid that he was going to send this guy props to the face.
Well, yeah, I'm flying around at like 90 miles a fucking hour like a madman, and you can't hear him coming.
Right? I wasn't there for the Segway. I missed it. You should at least did an orbit around him.
Oh, Jesus.
A little bit of harassment.
Got to remind him who's boss.
Right?
All right. Let's do this giveaway. We've given a few minutes here. Again, if you want to get in last minute, #bot puts you in for the giveaway. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen.
He's Alex that asked Scully about punching a police horse in the ass. Ooh.
What?
Ouch.
Oh, MD, I've been presenting you. I forgot I was presenting you for the gimbal protectors.
Oh, hey, we did have a police encounter, and we confused the shit out of them. Found ourselves a rookie. Yeah, found ourselves a rookie down on the boardwalk. I asked him, "Hey, can we fly drones here?" He's like, "I don't know. Let me ask." And he starts looking through this little book he's got and getting on the radio. It was fucking funny.
It was like 25 minutes later, and he's like, "I don't think so." We're like, "We could have told you that answer."
All right, guys. Here's a list of names. Honestly. Joe, you want me to keep you in there?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
I would just be a smart ass.
Well, not much, but I was being smart ass putting you in there. Here it goes in 3, 2, 1.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hey, double A.
Hey, look at that. All right.
So double A, we're going to tell you to get up with Chris Justice on Facebook Messenger or wherever, and Chris will get what he needs from you to send you the gimbal protectors.
I got what you need. I got double laser dress. I got double laser dress. Oh, baby, yeah.
Now, what you don't know is Chuck's going to show up randomly.
He already knows that. I can fly him with double A.
When you hear the big blue hum coming, you know it's him.
Yeah,
Dude, that truck is pretty sweet, though.
it is, ain't it? Nice.
Chuck let me act like a 12-year-old, fucking call over his truck and fucking lift the hood, looking underneath it, and act like a complete goob.
I thought he was going to get on his hands and knees and crawl under the truck.
I did. You weren't looking at the time.
Yeah, he brought his creeper that one day, and he was out in Josh's driveway.
What was it? No, the one I love is like there's a sign on the side of it that says no diesel. And my first reaction was, what the hell is this thing run off of? Unicorn piss?
Yeah.
Yeah. Essentially.
I like the part where they got to put the little plaque on the side that says permits here.
Yeah.
Because you know most of them will peel them off and just stick them right to the door of the truck.
So it's Swift, so I'm surprised they don't have a sticker on the seat that says driver here.
That truck is not 5S ready.
No, it's not.
You should have seen the freaking. I tore them all off, but on the back of my visor, when you flip the visor down, the whole thing is covered in stickers. Safety this, safety that. Tore them all off.
Safety's for noobs.
Choking's not, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Wait. We did have we did forget to mention, even though Vampire's already off, our noob moments that we did have.
Oh, God.
Props in the wrong direction repeatedly.
Chuck tried to send one up with props on backwards, so the drone had a seizure.
It actually tried to kill Vampire.
Yes, it did try and kill Vampire, yes.
And then he immediately tried to take off, and his quad freaked out because he put the props on wrong.
After giving you shit for it was killing him.
Then he hurdled his quad at an innocent bystander. The guy's over at some chin-up bars doing pull-ups, and man, he got this on video and everything. And out of nowhere, man, drone bouncing off metal. Ting! This guy, the drone, when we got to review the footage, it did not hit him, but it was inches from hitting.
Inches.
He saw his shoulder, saw this thing coming, and did a duck and tuck.
That dude was the Matrix. I don't care who you say. That dude had the Matrix going on.
I don't know how the fuck he got out of the way of that one.
If you guys want to see that, check out Chris's last live stream. I believe that was on there.
Yes, it was.
Yes, yeah, we did show it. Yep.
It was. I don't know how the fuck he got out of the way. I said even though I saw the video, I still have no clue how he got, because I was watching the guy and I heard the ding and I'm like, uh-oh. And we're like,
magic.
I don't know how he got away.
And then from our perspective,
either he was out in the middle of nowhere all by his damn self, and of all places John wanted to be, that was it.
Yeah.
Well, there was 2 poles there at your power loop, so
Yeah, he hit the one, which made the dong, which I think is the only thing that gave that guy enough warning to get the fuck out of the way. To be honest with you, because I think that's what. Whenever he heard that, is when he looked over his shoulder and then saw it coming and just ducked and rolled. It was amazing. I mean, it really was.
Yeah, that's what I said. He's got amazing reflexes.
That would have been the soft target win of the month. I mean,
hey, even I had a close call, kind of Chris-ish, except I tried to hit myself, flying up inside the branches in the trees, and the drone come. All I saw was my fat ass in the camera, and I hit disarm.
So we've learned something about Jar Jar, guys. He's got crazy sticks most of the time. When he gets sexy time,
oh, he can't fly.
He needs about a day before he flies. He just is.
Yeah.
I need that testosterone and that build up to keep my shit together. I was way too relaxed.
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah. So the rule of thumb is next time we go racing, we're gonna have to like get up with his wife and be like, hey, do us a mercy and sleep with John.
Hey, all the shit I was pulling off the days before, I was about a month without, all went to shit after having sexy time.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, it started, me and Chuck got there about an hour before you guys did.
Yep.
Man, first pack. I wasn't in the air 20 seconds and was planting it in the ground, up in trees. It was a completely futile effort, and it never got any better throughout the day.
No.
Oh, he crashed like more times in that one first pack than I've seen him crash in a month.
Hey, he's crashed more within the first, well, more say within that half hour. He's crashed the whole time I've freaking ever flown with him. Josh just don't break shit, and it's just like he's like wham, it's like,
That's because I was there. He was showing off.
Yeah, he had to be MD that day.
Chuck. You know, Chuck, I'll give it to him. He does not give a fuck. He just puts that thing anywhere he thinks it should be, and fuck anything that's on the other side, be it a tree, a wall, a person. It does not matter.
I agree.
Apparently, I invented a new trick.
Yes, I'm just about to say it.
Go ahead, Joe. Tell him about it.
It is now the patented Chuck fuck you tree.
Yeah,
you tree.
He just I see a hole. Fuck you tree. Made a hole. Done. End of story. We're like, how the fuck how are you still flying?
When he comes up on a tree, he just full throttles. That he just it just cuts a hole, and then we're right behind him. Thank you.
If trees could scream, that would have been a massacre. It would have been a horror flick.
Yes.
It was just raining branches and sticks and leaves and acorns the whole time.
He is a squirrel's worst nightmare. I'm just saying.
Look at in the gazebos when he hit that one area. Right, and he's flying still across away from us, and you still hear doof 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 limbs and shit in there.
Just shit falling out of the sky. It was like Armageddon. It was insane.
Between him and Bot, they cleaned them trees up very well.
Right.
Oh no, Love My Drone. He does it more than one time. He fucking hits tree after tree after tree. It's a trick, and he's good at it.
Now, I noticed a very interesting trend with Chuck, and this is the thing Chuck has to work on. Chuck will do something badass and then immediately plant his drone into it.
Yeah. The whole day I kept saying, okay, I did a cool trick. Now do something cool. Crash.
He cannot string tricks for the life of him. He can do cool tricks one at a time.
It's like, roll.
You know what? And that freaking saying he's got screws you because I did something. He's like, now do something cool. Wham! I smacked the tree. I was like,
why did I listen to him?
I only saw him worried. Well, and so I know he was worried at 2 points, but I only saw him worried at 1 point the entire week. And that was when his quad was upside down on the roof at the school.
Yeah.
The other time I was in the goggles, his quad was on fire, and he was doing the Chucky Waddle run over to it.
And to be honest, I wouldn't even have been worried about being on the roof, but there was a bullhorn right there. It had a bunch of wiring coming off the back of it, and my camera was looking right at the wiring, so both my arms were on either side of that wiring. So I was like, okay, hit the back fucking props on Turtle.
Yeah.
Flipped it, and then I'm like, okay, I'm right by the edge now. Hit the front props, and it came down.
So my only concern about flying at that spot, as much as fun as it was and as much shit as I broke, was the solar panels. I was waiting for somebody to pound a solar panel, especially doing that dive into that section of the building. I'm like, oh, this is so going to end badly.
Joe kept going. Joe's so we're in this tight area. Joe's flying. He's like, boom. He's like, I thought for sure that window was a go up. And it did. They were all glass, so you saw your reflection. It looks like a pathway. Yep. And you're like,
fuck it.
You know what the birds feel like.
I about shit myself when I was in those goggles, and I'm flying my quad, and you hear, wow. I'm like, did I just hit something?
Well, so they're tinted windows, and it's super bright, and they're on an overpass. So you look at, you're like, hey, there's a gap there. I'm gonna go through it. No,
freaking gosh! I get my goggles. I arm my quad. I'm like, what the hell? Did I put my props on backwards? He's holding down on my freaking quad.
He did that shit to me too.
Yeah.
Chris in the goggles. I was like, I'm going to lose a thumb. It's going to be worth it. And I'm just holding down on the drone. So this is great for your friends. If you're the group of you's out, before somebody arms, but they put the goggles on, just run up and just hold the drone down. They're going to arm it. They're going to give it throttle, and that bitch isn't going to budge. And they're going to be like, what the fuck?
Shit,
Unless your bot just start it and stick your finger in the freaking prop.
Oh, yeah, no, he tried to set me up on that one. Oh God, he was it, so his motor. I don't know what he's got the safety on his or whatever, so they'll sit there and spin, but they'll stop. I don't remember what he was telling about whatever setting he's got. Well, which is fine until you give it any throttle, and then it spins like it means it. So he goes, "Oh, look, you can stick your finger in." And he's sticking his finger through the prop, and I'm
stopping it.
He's like, go ahead and do it. And then he goes, yeah, but my transmitters my sticks are a little loose, so sometimes the throttle pops up. And I'm like, you want me to stick my finger in there? Are you stupid?
Just stick the one in there, the other one, Joe.
And it disables the PID loop as long as you have not, gone above idle on your sticks. But the second you go above, I want to say it'll wait 1 second and then it activates the PID loop. Well, that's automatic loss of fingers.
Yes. Right? He's like, yeah, go ahead, Joe. You can do it. I'm like, no, fell for that once.
I'm surprised Josh didn't lose a freaking thumb doing that to Chris, because the way Chris takes off every time, Jesus.
I didn't actually take off hard that time. That's what I said. I said it's a good thing I was just coming off the ground.
I actually expected him to be like, zzz, 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 zzz. I was holding extra hard. When you did it, Chuck, I knew it was going to go throttle all the way up and then be like, what the hell?
Well, I already knew what was going on because you did it to Chris.
Yeah.
Oh, good times. Not going to lie, I had a great time. There's not much I would do different. I think we did pretty well at having a good schedule that wasn't too aggressive or too lax. We did a little bit of planning around meals and all. There were a few times I forgot to eat or feed Chuck.
Which is dangerous. You got to remember to Chuck.
But all in all, it was a great week. I am happy to have this week off to recover.
Yeah, I agree. Chuck, what are you doing? Chuck, what are you doing? Chuck, you're
I don't know. Blizzard sent me a message, and I'm trying to find out what it is.
The fuck, Chuck? You're hurting me.
But my phone don't like doing like two things at once, so apparently I'm not going to get to read that.
Is it worth my chiropractic bill, Chuck?
I can see now.
Oh, wait.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Chris.
All right, camera. Oh, yeah. Or you can just go invert it. Inverted jaw spin.
Inverted jaw spin.
Integrated jaw spin?
Yeah, my phone's completely freaked out. All I have is black screen now.
That's fucking racist.
That's what I was thinking, but I wasn't going to say it.
That's because you're fucking racist.
Hey, Chuck, wait till you got to clean up all them little camera mounts that you love. That's what I've been sitting here doing. He loves these little mounts that I printed him a whole freaking sheet of them. I just been sitting here cleaning them all up myself, and they're a pain in the ass.
All right.
He broke my computer, the fucktard.
Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and shut this down because I want to get this video compiling. And if I don't get it uploaded tonight, I'll upload it during work tomorrow. So worst case, tomorrow evening, we'll have first video up. I'm going to try to get one out every couple days. So it'll probably take me between this week and next week to get all the Noobapalooza content out there. I'm hoping to see some content, some individual content from you guys in the meantime. And then once I get the Noobapalooza stuff up, I'll throw some individual stuff out as well. But
yeah, we'll all be putting out content. Well, except for Joe.
Yeah. My next video is going to be cricket, when we all went up with cricket and all that. So
nice. So we want to thank you guys for stopping in and being here. Want to give a congratulations to Double A on another win. That's a great accessory to have, especially if you ever throw your transmitter in a backpack.
Yep.
Want to remind you guys to fly safe and be smart, a.k.a. not like Chris. And happy crashing.
Have fun, guys. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us.